Coming up on Gearheads.
Heard you had an 8-second ride.
Hey, Andrew, did you drive the bed around?
Of course I had to come down hard on them.
I'm on the time schedule.
We needed to deliver that car. That was a big ticket job.
So here I am doing Dan's job.
I gotta leave y'all alone before I choke somebody.
Customer's supposed to be here at 4:30. And they've had plenty of time to get it done. Rich pissed.
If he would have been here at 9 o'clock this morning, no problems.
To make the world's fastest street cars, it takes skill and power. Horsepower. I'm Nick Field along with my partner Rick Ford. We take perfectly good cars and turn them into one-of-a-kind machines. And staying alive in this business is like trying to keep a bonfire burning with $100 bills. This is blood, sweat, and speed all the way. We are Gearheads. The way the shop operates is that we've got the work that comes in that are in and out, a set of headers, you know, maybe maintenance or tuning, and then there's the cars that have the code names that are the cars that we're working on a day-to-day basis to get done. Goldfinger's a land yacht with a bunch of power. It's a cool build because it's kind of gangster, and at the same time now it's getting the power to go along with it.
Because it's a 71 Impala and no one makes parts for it, we have to build like the suspension components for it. So front suspension, rear suspension.
The stock stuff just won't handle the horsepower that we're throwing to it, but we're upgrading the transmission, the drive shaft, the rear end, the wheels, the tires, the brakes, the suspension, stiffening up the chassis, complete new fuel system, AC system.
We get to work with people that it's not the normal customer relationship. So like, you know, as is the case with the owner of Goldfinger, you know, we've known each other going back 20 years.
There she is.
That's sweet. We're still waiting for the headers and the radiator. But other than that, she's coming along, wiring's most of the way done.
I really wanted like just the new LS3 motor in it, and I didn't at first wasn't gonna put all that power in, but they coached me into it, so you know I done went all out now. So.
It's definitely a different relationship. They're very trusting of what we do. They trust us with their money and their car. But you know, it's also one of those things that you don't want to screw up, and it's easy to screw that up.
His work speaks for itself, you know. You see the Mustangs, you see the Camaros that he put out there in the magazines, you know, he's the man.
It's not a race car, it's not anything that's ever going to go to the track, but the guy wants to be able to beat up on new Camaros with it.
If it could be done, they can do it.
In this business, you got to be able to, you know, get your marching orders and turn loose. The community's tight-knit, so you know who the solid people are and who the flakes are.
Kerry's worked at several shops around town. Always been a really, really good tech.
Big GM guy, so he's done hundreds of 2010 and up Camaros, for instance.
I make sure they're put up every night, they're cleaned. OCD. Go look in anyone else's toolbox around here.
Guzman has been another one of the guys that worked with us and then left and then came back. He's got a dealership background. He was also a certified machinist and engine builder. Mix that into it, you got a very valuable person.
Guzman got the softest hands in town. I ain't saying put it on film or nothing like that. Zach came to us from another school called Wildtech. Really consistent kind of guy. We brought him from Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or somewhere.
Same difference.
One of them Yankee towns.
He's like, you know, when you move here, you got to get yourself a 10-gallon hat and a big-ass belt buckle and a pair of cowboy boots. I was like, no.
Mel was a friend of a customer, and whenever they go out racing, Mel was with the guy, and I would see him out and say hi. I knew that he was around cars. We knew that he didn't know cars, but you know, he's in training. You know, he's a recruit, so he's working up through the ranks. Dan's credentials are that he basically lives, eats, breathes, sleeps racing. That's all he cares about. That being said, when he came to us 5 years ago, he knew about cars, but he didn't know about tuning, so we trained him. You know, so that experience is invaluable.
I mean, I'm very proud of what we've done. I'm very proud of everything that we have. My guys are incredible at what they do.
Coming up on Gearheads.
Heard you had an 8-second ride.
Hey, Andrew, did you drive the bed around? Yes, sir.
Of course I had to come down hard on him. He only gets one chance at messing up.
Oops.
Oh, we're
I'm
done.
just going to pull a battery.
I like how he's gonna go pull a battery and he's got 30 sockets that piece.
We get a lot of resumes. The thing about it is we have to be very picky about who we bring on. Andrew called about 32 times.
Damn it.
Oops. Until I would talk to him, and I even brought him in here and asked him to go hang out with Rick, and then Rick was like, whatever. And then he called 32 more times.
And we're just talking about 32 times a day.
I go through Lone Star for community college to take some of my classes for auto tech.
To tell you the truth, it's never been proven that he is going to school for it.
He is.
Maybe I need to check on that.
I had an instructor that knew Nick, the owner, and so he said, look, you know, I'll tell him you're coming by, just keep bugging him until he gives you an interview and then see where it goes from there.
Probably the most persistent guy I've ever met. I mean, I kind of blew him off at first because he didn't know a whole lot, and I just didn't have time to teach him anything, you know. I really didn't need another floor sweeper.
Andrew is an apprentice.
Yeah.
So he was brought on basically
As more of an intern.
yeah, under the stipulations that he's not permanent until we say that he's got a promising future, let's say. You got to get to that point before we're going to put that investment into you.
Oh, we're
I'm
done.
just going to pull a battery.
We're done.
Thanks.
I like how he's gonna go pull a battery and he's got 30 sockets that piece. Gonna go pull this battery real quick.
If I had hired on as a full-time tech, like I actually knew what I was doing all the time, I probably wouldn't catch as much. But you know, especially being the new guy and being the apprentice, it's your job to learn, and so people are gonna give you crap for everything you mess up.
Hey, Andrew, come here real quick. All right, we're gonna need your help here too, so go ahead and get with Mel. And
I'm already stacked up. Like I got something to do, and then I need to wash the vet.
You're gonna watch the vet right now?
That's what Rick said. I mean, I'm just going off his orders come first, because he pays the bills.
Go over there. I don't want to hear from you.
One instance where Andrew went to wash a car, I told him don't drive it. Get one of the other guys to drive it onto us, and he drove it anyways.
Well, that didn't go very far.
That vet's hard to drive, even if he's an experienced driver. But he shouldn't be driving a car like that either way.
Heard you had an 8-second ride.
I heard I moved it around front.
Oh.
Installing it out.
Something with a bunch of horsepower could just take off on you.
It's either on or it's off. There's not really ease the clutch out.
Just look like a fool. I don't let Andrew drive cars, huh?
Okay.
He ain't even an employee here.
Hey, Andrew, did you drive the bed around?
Yes, sir.
I thought we talked about getting Goozy to drive it.
Yes, sir.
No more standard cars at all, huh? Of course I had to come down hard on him. What else are you supposed to do? He only gets one chance at messing up, and if he does it twice, then there has to be, I just let him go.
You know, we were all there. Okay, so the thing about it is no one gets in this business for free.
It's your job to learn, and so people are gonna give you crap for everything you mess up. Mel, did you put this thing up?
Setup was done by Andrew.
That'd be why.
Exactly.
Because it was crooked
No
too
surprise.
at first.
You get someone like Andrew or
Back it up,
even Mel
back it up,
that's really
back it
persistent,
up.
you know they have the desire,
And
then
make
you
sure
bring them in and
actually
basically
use
try to
the
break
air
them. If they don't break, then they make the first cut anyway.
Andrew, clean up right there, the mess we just made. Appreciate it.
Anytime anyone needs something, generally they just give me a holler, so.
You know, no one's gonna share information with you without earning your stripes.
He has a good head on his shoulders. I think he might go far. But once again, he has to put in his time.
These guys are hardcore.
Whoa there, whoa there. What you trying to get between my legs there, buddy?
Oh, it's better than standing over your head out begging.
Especially when they get when we get into the sewing circle and start the smack talk.
I mean,
Crapola, right?
it's just one of them days, huh? I mean, guys are gonna be guys. They're gonna swear. They're gonna maybe spit outside, smoke a cigarette in front of it. I had to put it, just draw them back in, tighten them up a little bit. Look, guys, we have a lot of customers coming in and out today. Enough with the swearing. Keep it under control, huh? All right. Appreciate it very much. Andrew.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if it's you or not, but keep the cussing down to a minimum. We're gonna have a lot of customers coming in and out. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
I think it's because it's a tough friggin' job, you know? And that's one way that people, it's kind of an outlet. Some 4-letter words out there sometimes make you feel better.
Yeah. And it's also, you know, the environment you're around. You know, you have somebody like me that comes in and every last word out of my mouth is a swear word. And they pick up on that, and
I can't wait till your kid's like 3 years old and
he'll be like,
says yeah, then we'll see how you feel. Coming up on Gearheads, we needed to deliver that car. That was a big ticket job. As usually happens, something goes wrong.
So here I am doing Dan's job.
Dan being late is one of the things that we probably argue a lot about. I gotta leave y'all alone before I choke somebody. We shouldn't have to schedule our whole shop around the guy.
Customer's supposed to be here at 4:30, and I got to figure out how to make it work.
What customers really pay attention to is he and I.
I'm just checking in with you on our project.
He can handle the scheduling side.
Right.
He understands what the customer's going through.
I just want to let you know what's going on, and I'm going to send you a couple pictures. Yeah, this stuff should all be done tomorrow.
They know that, for instance, before they go 100 plus miles an hour in it, that I went 100 plus miles in it. We've walked that fine line with like getting too personal with customers, and you put that business relationship at risk.
Or when customers are calling you on your cell phone at 8 o'clock Sunday morning.
When NBA players are texting you at 3 in the morning when they're drunk and their car won't start. So, do we have a younger crew? Yeah, but you know, in this business, in the hot rod business, those are the guys that can handle it.
These are really, really long hours. I mean, there for a couple weeks, we worked 7 days a week, from 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night.
It's not pay like at a dealership. So these are the guys that are really all about it. They don't have 4 or 5 kids. They don't mind coming up here late at night to finish a car. So I think our customers appreciate the fact that these are the guys that can get the job done. So this Charger came in, SRT8. This car has been in the shop a couple times. It's been twin turboed, it's had a big motor. Now it's supercharged. So this car has been tricky to say the least. It's just had a lot of hands in the soup. Now it's back in so that we can finish the supercharger and button it up.
We've been dealing with that Charger since '07. And if you look at that car, it has no miles on it, and we've just been trying to make it one of the fastest Chargers around.
Terry takes care of some NFL players' cars. He's essentially their car agent.
I'll call it a super personal assistant.
So what he does is he manages paint work, wheels and tires, horsepower upgrades. So he handles all that for them.
I treat them like they're my cars, so I got to make sure that everything's right on them.
When Kerry was putting the supercharger on that charger, it's a pretty straightforward operation, and he does it well. It went smooth. Once the car gets done, the dyno is the part that's going to, tell the tale of the tape. So, it gets over there, and of course, as usually happens, something goes wrong.
Oh, the transmission went messed up.
Gets the middle of the day. This is delivery day for the car. Dan's still not here. It's lunchtime. So we all go into scramble mode to try and get the car done.
We should tilt it towards the door first so it'll blow the sand out of Dan's.
Oh no, I got the air blower for that.
When Dan's late, I have to stop other cars from being done, so my technicians can go over there and help him on the dyno.
So here I am doing Dan's job. He's not here. He's running late, and again, I'm gonna go ahead and put the charger on the dyno for him.
It happens pretty often. It's just a bad deal for everybody.
Because not only are they unhappy, but the other cars not getting done.
It's just, man, it's just like a snowball.
And then guys like Guzman are like, well, you know what? I'll just learn how to tune and I'll do the whole thing. So then you have the can I be a tuner conversation that happens later on.
Dan being late is one of the things that we probably argue a lot about.
Yeah.
I feel I go one way about it, and he goes another way.
He's got that whole tuner guide attitude where he doesn't need to get tech support. He usually gets here too late to even call those people because by the time he's here, they're all shutting down.
Came all the way here and it looks like there's a problem with the transmission. Customer's supposed to be here at 4:30 and I got to figure out how to make it work.
But we shouldn't have to schedule our whole shop around the guy.
I gotta leave y'all alone before I choke somebody.
We needed to deliver that car. That was a big ticket job.
Transmission's acting up. It's not letting me manually select gears, which I have to be able to do to dyno it.
Whether it was Dan's fault or not, or tuning or not, it's one of those things where you get it over there and you start to rule out the problems. You rule out the issues. It's just a process of elimination.
Shifting okay?
It's done at first gear.
Coming up on Gearheads.
I'm on the time schedule.
So we're trying to get the charger done.
Rick's pissed.
If he would have been here at 9 o'clock this morning, no problems.
We were grabbing at straws. Everyone was desperate.
And they've had plenty of time to get it done.
And I'm the most stressed out of all of them.
So here's what's going on. When we were pulling it apart, one of the solenoids acted kind of weird coming out. When we changed it, now this thing won't go into first gear. Let's leave it in second. Do you think we should just pull the solenoids out of that other transmission and swap them all out?
We diagnosed it down to being a solenoid issue. A solenoid is what tells the transmission to shift. It allows fluid to go through different chambers. So we had some here in another transmission, so we just put them in. If he would have been here at 9 o'clock this morning, this would have happened at 10 o'clock. It would have been fixed before lunch. No problems. But he's a piece of shit.
Rick's pissed.
Leave us the hell alone so we can get this finished up, please.
He's pissed off because if Dan would have showed up at the time he needed to, all these issues that they're going through, they would have been knocked out during the day. Ordered the parts that we needed. Now I got to call the customer and tell him your car's not ready.
It's a common upgrade to go ahead and upgrade the solenoids anyways.
And that didn't work.
And that didn't work.
It's like it's starting in third gear. Huh? It's like it's starting in third gear.
There's several reasons why a transmission could be messed up. It could be from electronics to transmission fluid pressure to a broke band inside the transmission.
Like internal failure.
Internal failure. The speed sensor could be messed up. Wheel speed sensors could be messed up. There's quite a bit of things that could cause the transmission to mess up.
I didn't care what was going on with the charger, whether it's ready or not, the charger was going home today. And if I had to find somebody else to do it, because, I'm on a time schedule. They've had plenty of time to get it done.
Terry's pretty hardcore, and I've tested his patience before. If we don't get this car done, it's going to be all over.
300-pound man expecting to pick up his car at 4:30 usually doesn't turn out very well if he doesn't get it.
He's a good dude. He's just a little intimidating.
If it's not ready, it's not ready. But I'll get it taken care of.
I thought we had it licked.
I did too.
It's not shifting. I think it's still starting in second gear.
Okay.
Dan not knowing that the car got a gear put in it would cause it to fail safe or not shift right. But that all comes back to Dan showing up late. If he would have been here on time, he would have known everything that got done to the car, and he wouldn't have went into it.
Because it ain't the first time we've had that issue where a car had a gear in it and it wouldn't act right, and all you had to do was ask the question.
Yeah.
See if we can't have it done by 4:30. We'll only be 24 hours late on it.
Yeah, better late than never.
Exactly.
The problem would have been found a lot earlier on in the day.
Exactly.
And it still would have shipped if he would have been here and done what he was supposed to do in the morning instead of waiting until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So we're trying to get the Charger done and get it shipped. And after the gear issue and tuning issues and diagnosing it improperly, basically, changing solenoids, we were grabbing at straws. Everyone was desperate, and I'm the most stressed out of all of them. After all that, Rick finally figured out that it comes down to a fuse issue because there was aftermarket equipment that was tied into the fuse box that shouldn't have been there, and we finally got it done.
One of the radio wires was wrapped around the transmission fuse in the trunk. I disconnected it, it lost signal to the key, so I reprogrammed the whole car, and that solved the problem.
It was a real easy fix. It's something that's easily overlooked. Had we built the car, everything on it, it wouldn't have been there, but when you have other people with their hands in it as far as stereo shops and stuff like that, you run into problems like that.
It's hard to find somebody to do what you want done, but I gotta be able to trust you.
I'm glad to see that Charger go down the street, but honestly, that thing probably turned into a loser for us. We lost about $1,500 on it today, just in lost time and throwing parts at it. That's hot rods.